A degree of variation or diversity within a particular group or population. A difference or deviation between two or more things, often measured or expressed numerically.
अंतर, दो चीजों में पाया जाने वाला फर्क.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Ingenuity, variance, malfeasance, empiricism. Now, the correct answer is variance.
Variance as noun.
अंतर, दो चीजों में पाया जाने वाला फर्क.
A degree of variation or diversity within a particular group or population. A difference or deviation between two or more things, often measured or expressed numerically.
Synonym of
Variance,
difference, discrepancy, disagreement, divergence, diversity.
Antonym of
variance,
Agreement, concord, concurrence, harmony, invariability.
Here is the word family of variance. As a noun variance, as a verb vary, as an adjective variant, as an adverb variably.
the variance in temperature between night and day was quite extreme. The data showed a significant variance from the expected results. The research found a high degree of variance in the responses of study participants. The company's profits were affected by variance in currency exchange rates. The building plans had to be revised to meet local zoning variances.
collocation of
Variance,
High variance. Definition: a large or significant degree of variation or difference. Examples: the data showed high variance, indicating a wide range of values. Low variance. Definition: a small or minimal degree of variation or difference. Examples: the experiment results had low variance, indicating consistent and similar outcomes. Variance analysis. Definition: the process of examining and evaluating the differences or variations between actual and expected outcomes. Examples: the finance department conducted a detailed variance analysis to understand the financial performance. Variance report. Definition: a document or summary that presents the variations or differences between planned and actual results. Examples: the project manager prepared a detailed variance report to highlight budget discrepancies. Variance reduction. Definition: the act or process of minimizing or decreasing the amount of variation or difference. Examples: the quality control team implemented strategies for variance reduction to improve product consistency.
Next question. A scarcity or lack of something, especially something that is needed or desired. A small or insufficient amount of something.
कमी, बहुत कम मात्रा.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Hubris, paucity, gumption, percipient. Now the correct answer is paucity.
Paucity as noun.
कमी, बहुत कम मात्रा.
A scarcity or lack of something, especially something that is needed or desired. A small or insufficient amount of something.
Synonym of
Paucity,
Insufficiency, dearth, lack, scarcity, shortage.
Antonym of
paucity,
Abundance, plenty, adequacy, affluence, copiousness.
Here is the word family of paucity. As a noun, paucity.
The paucity of available jobs in the area forced many residents to look for work elsewhere. The team struggled to score goals because of a paucity of skilled strikers. The paucity of funding for the arts meant that many local theaters had to close. The paucity of evidence meant that the case was dismissed by the court. There was a paucity of fresh produce at the grocery store due to the recent storm.
Common collocation of
Paucity.
Paucity of resources. Definition: a scarcity or lack of necessary materials, supplies, or resources. Examples: the school faced a paucity of resources, making it difficult to provide quality education to its students. Paucity of information. Definition: an insufficiency or scarcity of available information or data. Examples: the researchers were frustrated by the paucity of information on the subject, making their study challenging. Paucity of options. Definition: a limited number or lack of available choices or alternatives. Examples: the paucity of job opportunities in the small town led many young people to seek employment elsewhere. Paucity of time. Definition: a shortage or insufficient amount of time to accomplish a task or complete an activity. Examples: the students faced a paucity of time to prepare for the exam, causing stress and anxiety. Paucity of support. Definition: a lack of assistance, backing, or encouragement from others. Examples: the aspiring artist felt discouraged due to the paucity of support from friends and family.
Next question. Appropriate behavior or conduct in a particular setting or situation. The conventions of polite or socially acceptable behavior.
शिष्टाचार, सही और सम्मानजनक आचरण.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Cataclysm, torpor, aesthete, decorum. Now the correct answer is decorum.
Decorum as noun.
शिष्टाचार, सही और सम्मानजनक आचरण.
Appropriate behavior or conduct in a particular setting or situation. The conventions of polite or socially acceptable behavior.
Synonyms of
Decorum,
Propriety, etiquette, politeness, correctness, protocol.
antonym of
decorum,
Indecency, indecorum, coarseness, impoliteness, indecorousness.
Here is the word family of decorum. As a noun, decorum. As an adjective, decorous. As an adverb, decorously.
The theater had a code of decorum that prohibited food and drinks inside the auditorium. The decorum of the ceremony required all attendees to dress in black. The party's decorum was disrupted by a group of rowdy guests. The office had strict decorum guidelines, including no loud conversations or cell phone usage. The athlete was reprimanded by the coach for violating the decorum of the team.
common collocation of
Decorum,
Sense of decorum. Definition: a display of appropriate behavior, manners, and respect for social conventions. Examples: the politician maintained a sense of decorum during the debate, refraining from personal attacks and inflammatory language. Decorum in speech. Definition: the use of polite, respectful, and appropriate language when communicating with others. Examples: the employee's decorum in speech was praised by colleagues and supervisors for their professionalism. Decorum in dress. Definition: adhering to dress codes or dressing appropriately for specific occasions, reflecting a sense of decorum and respect for the event or environment. Examples: the company's policy emphasized decorum in dress, requiring employees to wear business attire during client meetings. Decorum in ceremonies. Definition: observing established customs and protocols during formal ceremonies or events, maintaining an atmosphere of dignity and respect. Examples: the graduation ceremony was conducted with great decorum, honoring the achievements of the students. Decorum in public speaking. Definition: the practice of delivering speeches or presentations in a manner that is respectful, engaging, and mindful of the audience's expectations. Examples: the speaker captivated the audience with their decorum in public speaking, using appropriate gestures and vocal tone.
Next question. Secret or illegal cooperation or conspiracy, especially in order to cheat or deceive others. The act of working together secretly to achieve a goal, especially an illegal or deceitful one.
मिलीभगत, गुप्त रूप से गलत काम के लिए सहयोग.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Snub, collusion, glut, recapitulation. Now, the correct answer is collusion.
Collusion as noun.
मिलीभगत, गुप्त रूप से गलत काम के लिए सहयोग.
Secret or illegal cooperation or conspiracy, especially in order to cheat or deceive others. The act of working together secretly to achieve a goal, especially an illegal or deceitful one.
Synonyms of
Collusion,
Connivance, plot, complicity, intrigue, conspiracy.
antonyms of
collusion,
Honesty, bone to pick, individual.
Here is the word family of collusion. As a noun collusion, as a verb collude, as an adjective collusive, as an adverb collusively.
The players were found guilty of collusion to throw the game. The prosecutor alleged that the defendant was involved in collusion with a foreign government to interfere in the election. There is evidence of collusion among the suppliers to fix prices. The committee is investigating allegations of collusion between the two companies. The government was accused of collusion with the oil industry to suppress information about climate change.
Here are some useful collocations of
Collusion,
Collusion in business. Definition: secret or illegal cooperation or collaboration between businesses to gain an unfair advantage. Examples: the companies were fined for engaging in collusion to fix prices. Collusion in politics. Definition: secret or illegal cooperation between political entities to manipulate or control outcomes. Examples: the corruption scandal revealed widespread collusion among politicians. Collusion in sports. Definition: illicit cooperation or conspiracy between athletes or teams to influence the outcome of a competition. Examples: the athlete was banned from the sport for his involvement in collusion to throw matches. Collusion in finance. Definition: unethical collaboration or fraud committed by individuals or institutions in the financial sector. Examples: the bankers were found guilty of collusion in the insider trading scandal. Collusion investigation. Definition: a formal examination or inquiry into suspected collusion between parties. Examples: the regulatory authorities launched an investigation into potential collusion in the telecommunications industry.
Next question. A person chosen to vote or make decisions for a group. A representative appointed to act on behalf of another.
प्रतिनिधि किसी समूह की ओर से भेजा गया व्यक्ति.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Egotist, dissolution, apathy, delegate. Now the correct answer is delegate.
Delegate as noun.
प्रतिनिधि किसी समूह की ओर से भेजा गया व्यक्ति.
A person chosen to vote or make decisions for a group. A representative appointed to act on behalf of another.
Synonym of
Delegate,
Assign, agent, substitute, representative, emissary.
antonym of
delegate,
Keep, discharge, quash, redeem, restrain.
Here is the word family of delegate, as a noun delegation, as a verb delegate, as an adjective delegated.
The delegate from the company was present at the conference. The UN sent a delegate to negotiate a peace treaty. The political party elected a delegate to represent them at the National Convention. The school sent a delegate to the Student Leadership Conference. The organization appointed a delegate to attend the Environmental Summit.
common collocation of
Delegate,
Delegate authority. Definition: to assign or transfer authority or power to someone else to act on one's behalf. Examples: the manager delegated authority to the team leader to make decisions in their absence. Delegate responsibility. Definition: to assign or transfer responsibility or tasks to someone else. Examples: the project manager delegated responsibility for specific tasks to different team members. Delegate tasks. Definition: to assign or entrust specific tasks or assignments to others. Examples: the teacher delegated tasks to students for a group project. Delegate decision-making. Definition: to authorize or empower someone else to make decisions on one's behalf. Examples: the CEO delegated decision-making to the executive team. Delegate project management. Definition: to assign or designate someone to manage or oversee a specific project. Examples: the senior manager delegated project management to the experienced project lead.
Next question. A reddening of the skin, especially in the face, caused by increased blood flow. A sudden rush or surge, especially of emotions or adrenaline.
लालिमा, चेहरे या सतह पर लाल पड़ना.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Presentiment, mendacity, flush, concomitant. Now the correct answer is Flush.
Flush as noun.
लालिमा, चेहरे या सतह पर लाल पड़ना.
A reddening of the skin, especially in the face, caused by increased blood flow. A sudden rush or surge, especially of emotions or adrenaline.
Synonym of.
Flush.
Blush, redden, turn go pink, turn go red, turn go crimson.
Antonym of.
Flush.
Pale, rough, penniless, uneven, poor.
Here is the word family of flush, as a noun flush, as a verb flush, as an adjective flushed.
She won the poker game with a royal flush, much to the disappointment of her opponents. She had a sudden flush of embarrassment when she realized she had been talking about the wrong person. The toilet wouldn't stop running, so he checked the flush to see if it was the problem. The sudden flush of water from the fire hydrant surprised the children playing nearby. He noticed a flush in his cheeks after running up the stairs.
Common collocation of.
Flush.
Flush-faced. Definition: having a reddened or flushed face, often due to embarrassment, exertion, or heat. Examples: after running a marathon, he was flush-faced and out of breath. Flush with pride. Definition: feeling a deep sense of pride or satisfaction. Examples: as he watched his daughter receive her award, he was flush with pride. Flush of anger. Definition: a sudden, intense feeling of anger or rage. Examples: the insult caused a flush of anger to surge through her. Flush with cash. Definition: having a lot of money or being in a financially comfortable situation. Examples: after winning the lottery, he was flush with cash. Flush of excitement. Definition: a sudden surge of excitement or exhilaration. Examples: the team celebrated their victory with a flush of excitement and high fives.
Next question. The condition of being scanty or inadequate. The state or quality of being extremely small or limited in size or amount.
अल्पता, बहुत कम मात्रा या कमी.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Martinet. Exiguity. Pastoral. Row. Now the correct answer is exiguity.
Exiguity as noun.
अल्पता, बहुत कम मात्रा या कमी.
The condition of being scanty or inadequate. The state or quality of being extremely small or limited in size or amount.
Synonym of.
Exiguity.
Scarcity, shortage, insufficiency, deficiency, meagerness.
Antonym of.
Exiguity.
Abundance, plenitude, plenty, profusion, wealth.
Here is the word family of exiguity, as a noun exiguity, as an adjective exiguous.
The exiguity of the food supply was a major concern for the refugees. The poem's beauty lay in its brevity and exiguity. The exiguity of the budget meant that we had to be very careful with our spending. The house's small size and exiguity made it unsuitable for a family of 5. The exiguity of evidence meant that the case was dismissed.
Common collocation of.
Exiguity.
Exiguity of resources. Definition: the scarcity or limited availability of resources. Examples: the exiguity of resources hindered the completion of the project on time. Exiguity of time. Definition: the shortness or limited amount of time available. Examples: the exiguity of time forced us to prioritize tasks and work efficiently. Exiguity of space. Definition: the small or limited amount of physical space. Examples: the exiguity of space in the office necessitated the implementation of a remote work policy. Exiguity of staff. Definition: the small or insufficient number of staff members. Examples: the exiguity of staff led to increased workloads and burnout among employees. Exiguity of options. Definition: the lack of available choices or alternatives. Examples: the exiguity of options left us with no alternative but to accept the proposed terms.
Next question. A trite or unoriginal remark or situation. The commonness or ordinary nature of something.
साधारणता, नई बात का अभाव.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Banality, invective, constraint, temperance. Now the correct answer is banality.
Banality as noun.
साधारणता, नई बात का अभाव.
A trite or unoriginal remark or situation. The commonness or ordinary nature of something.
Synonyms of
Banality,
Platitude, triteness, cliché, bromide, commonplace.
antonyms of
banality,
Uniqueness, coinage. Newness, creation, creativeness.
Here is the word family of banality, as a noun banality, as a adjective banal, as a adverb banally.
The movie's script was full of banalities, with the characters speaking in predictable and cliched ways. The artist's work was criticized for its banality, with some critics noting that it lacked any real depth or meaning. The book was criticized for its banality, with reviewers noting that it offered nothing new or interesting. The product was criticized for its banality, with consumers noting that it offered nothing new or exciting. The advertising campaign was criticized for its banality, with many viewers noting that it failed to capture their attention or imagination.
Here are some useful collocations of
Banality,
Banality of everyday life. Definition: the mundane or ordinary aspects of daily existence. Examples: the novel explores the banality of everyday life in a small town. Banality of clichés. Definition: the overuse or triteness of common clichés. Examples: the speech was filled with the banality of clichés, lacking originality. Banality of small talk. Definition: the superficial and uninteresting nature of casual conversation. Examples: he grew tired of the banality of small talk at social gatherings. Banality of social media. Definition: the repetitive and shallow content often found on social media platforms. Examples: the influencers' posts were criticized for their banality and lack of substance. Banality of office politics. Definition: the predictable and mundane dynamics of power and competition in the workplace. Examples: he was tired of the banality of office politics and sought a more fulfilling career.
Next question. A false or unfounded story or report. a type of duck, typically having a long neck and bill.
अफवाह, झूठी या भ्रामक खबर.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Dispensation, precipient, heretic, canard. Now the correct answer is canard.
Canard as noun.
अफवाह, झूठी या भ्रामक खबर.
A false or unfounded story or report. A type of duck, typically having a long neck and bill.
Synonyms of
Canard,
Fib, rumor, tale, hoax, lie.
antonyms of
canard,
Truth, verity, good faith.
Here is the word family of canard. As a noun, canard. The article in the newspaper was based on a canard, with no sources to back up the claims made. The rumor that the company was going bankrupt was a canard spread by a competitor to hurt their reputation. The story about the restaurant serving exotic meats turned out to be a canard when it was revealed to be a prank. The politicians' claim that their opponent was involved in illegal activities was a canard without any evidence. The conspiracy theory about aliens invading the planet is a canard with no scientific evidence to support it.
Here are some useful collocations of
canard,
Political canard. Definition: a false or baseless rumor or story circulated in the realm of politics. Examples: the candidate's opponent spread a canard about his involvement in a corruption scandal. Media canard. Definition: a false or misleading story or report propagated by the media. Examples: the newspaper published a canard suggesting a connection between the celebrity and a criminal organization. Widespread canard. Definition: a false or fabricated story that is widely believed or accepted. Examples: the canard about the health risks of a particular vaccine led to a decline in immunization rates. Canard conspiracy. Definition: a false or unfounded conspiracy theory. Examples: the canard conspiracy about the government's secret agenda gained traction among certain fringe groups. Canard in public discourse. Definition: a false or misleading statement or claim that influences public opinion. Examples: the politicians' canard about immigration stirred up fear and division among the population.
Next question. A person or thing that serves as an outstanding or typical example of a certain quality or type. An individual or specimen serving as a model or pattern to be copied or imitated.
आदर्श उदाहरण, जिसे मॉडल या नमूना माना जाए.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Paucity, exemplar, snub, arriviste. Now the correct answer is exemplar.
Exemplar as noun.
आदर्श उदाहरण, जिसे मॉडल या नमूना माना जाए.
A person or thing that serves as an outstanding or typical example of a certain quality or type. An individual or specimen serving as a model or pattern to be copied or imitated.
Synonym of
Exemplar,
Model, example, pattern, standard, paragon.
Antonym of
Exemplar.
I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request.
Here is the word family of exemplar. As a noun example, as an adjective exemplary, as an adverb exemplarily.
The book is considered an exemplar of modern literature. She was chosen as an exemplar of good leadership. The painting is regarded as an exemplar of Impressionism. This company is an exemplar of sustainable business practices. His life serves as an exemplar of perseverance.
Common collocation of
Exemplar.
Exemplar of excellence. Definition: an outstanding or exceptional example that represents excellence in a particular field or domain. Examples: the award-winning chef's culinary creations are considered an exemplar of excellence in fine dining. Exemplar of leadership. Definition: a person who embodies exemplary leadership qualities or serves as a role model for others. Examples: Mahatma Gandhi is often regarded as an exemplar of leadership for his nonviolent approach to social change. Exemplar of courage. Definition: an individual who demonstrates extraordinary bravery or fearlessness in the face of adversity. Examples: the firefighter's selfless rescue efforts during the fire made him an exemplar of courage in the community. Exemplar of creativity. Definition: a person who showcases exceptional creativity and innovation in their artistic or professional endeavors. Examples: the renowned architect's groundbreaking designs are considered an exemplar of creativity in the industry.
Next question. A risky or bold move made in the hope of gaining a benefit. A tactic or strategy employed in order to distract, deceive, or mislead an opponent or adversary.
चाल, किसी लाभ के लिए की गई रणनीति.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Gambit. Resolve. Incumbent. Charlatan. Now, the correct answer is gambit.
Gambit as noun.
चाल, किसी लाभ के लिए की गई रणनीति.
A risky or bold move made in the hope of gaining a benefit. A tactic or strategy employed in order to distract, deceive, or mislead an opponent or adversary.
synonym of
Gambit.
Ploy, stratagem, artifice, ruse, trick.
antonym of
Gambit.
Frankness, safe, honesty, manager.
Here is the word family of gambit. As a noun gambit.
The gambit of revealing the murderer's identity in the middle of the movie was unexpected. The politician's gambit to win over young voters was to promise free college education. The chess player's gambit of sacrificing a pawn paid off in the end. The coach's gambit of changing the team's formation surprised the opponents. The company's gambit to boost sales was to offer discounts on its products.
common collocation of
Gambit.
Opening gambit. Definition: an initial move or action taken to start a conversation, negotiation, or interaction. Examples: the negotiator's friendly greeting was a strategic opening gambit to establish rapport with the opposing party. Chess gambit. Definition: a chess opening in which a player sacrifices material, usually a pawn, for a strategic advantage. Examples: the player employed the queen's gambit to control the center of the board. Political gambit. Definition: a calculated move or strategy employed by a politician to gain an advantage or achieve a specific objective. Examples: the candidate's unexpected policy announcement was seen as a political gambit to attract more voters. Business gambit. Definition: a risky or bold business move or strategy intended to achieve a competitive advantage or increase market share. Examples: the company's acquisition of a major competitor was considered a bold gambit to dominate the market. Diplomatic gambit. Definition: a diplomatic maneuver or action taken to influence negotiations, gain leverage, or diffuse a situation. Examples: the ambassador's proposal for peace talks was seen as a diplomatic gambit to ease tensions between the two countries.
Next question. Courage, determination, and spirit. The quality of being bold and not easily discouraged. Initiative or resourcefulness. The ability to take action and solve problems independently.
हिम्मत, समझदारी और साहस का मिश्रण.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Acme, inkling, gumption, concomitant. Now the correct answer is gumption.
Gumption as noun.
हिम्मत, समझदारी और साहस का मिश्रण.
Courage, determination, and spirit. The quality of being bold and not easily discouraged. Initiative or resourcefulness. The ability to take action and solve problems independently.
Synonym of
Gumption,
Guts, backbone, grit, courage, sense.
Antonym of
gumption,
Timidness, carelessness, cowardice, foolishness, idiocy.
Here is the word family of gumption. As a noun, gumption.
You need to have the gumption to stand up for yourself and speak your mind. She showed her gumption by starting her own business despite the challenges and risks involved. His gumption and perseverance paid off when he finally achieved his long-term goal. The character in the novel had gumption and resourcefulness that allowed her to overcome adversity. We need someone with the gumption to make tough decisions and take bold actions.
common collocation of
gumption,
Show gumption. Definition: to demonstrate bravery, determination, or resourcefulness. Examples: the young entrepreneur showed gumption by launching her own business at a young age. Lack gumption. Definition: to be lacking in courage, initiative, or determination. Examples: he failed to pursue his dreams because he lacked the gumption to take risks. Have the gumption. Definition: to possess the courage, confidence, or initiative to take action. Examples: she had the gumption to ask for a promotion and presented her case confidently. Use gumption. Definition: to apply intelligence, shrewdness, or practicality in making decisions or solving problems. Examples: she used her gumption to navigate through the complex project and find innovative solutions. Gumption to succeed. Definition: the drive, determination, or perseverance required to achieve success. Examples. Despite facing numerous setbacks, he had the gumption to succeed and eventually reached his goals.
Next question. A hint, suggestion, or implicit reference. A subtle or indirect indication or reference.
संकेत, किसी बात का हल्का सा इशारा.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Apostate, incense, intimation, aphorism. Now the correct answer is intimation.
Intimation as noun.
संकेत, किसी बात का हल्का सा इशारा.
A hint, suggestion, or implicit reference. A subtle or indirect indication or reference.
Synonym of.
Intimation.
Int, suggestion, inkling, innuendo, suspicion.
Antonym of.
Intimation.
Expression, unroll. Contraindication, overtone. Information.
Here is the word family of intimation. As a noun intimation, as a verb intimate.
His intimation that we were not invited to the party hurt our feelings. The new employee's intimation of his experience impressed the manager. The subtle intimation of danger in her voice made me uneasy. The intimation of betrayal in his partner's eyes was all he needed to know that something was wrong. The writer's intimation that there was more to the story than met the eye kept the reader engaged.
Common collocation of.
Intimation.
Clear intimation. Definition. A direct and unmistakable indication or suggestion. Examples. Her clear intimation was that she would not be able to attend the event. Intimation of love. Definition. A subtle or indirect expression of romantic feelings. Examples. He conveyed his affection through a gentle touch and a meaningful intimation in his eyes. Intimation of success. Definition. A suggestion or sign of forthcoming achievement or accomplishment. Examples. The positive feedback from the early reviews served as an intimation of the film's success. Intimation of change. Definition. A foreshadowing or clue indicating a forthcoming shift or transformation. Examples. The sudden reorganization of the company's departments was an intimation of significant changes ahead. Intimation of knowledge. Definition. A subtle indication or clue that someone possesses specific information. Examples. The professor's probing questions gave an intimation of his deep knowledge in the subject matter.
Next question. A substance that produces a fragrant aroma when burned, used in religious or spiritual ceremonies. Something that strongly irritates or angers someone.
धूप, सुगंधित पदार्थ जो जलाने पर खुशबू दे.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Torpor, amalgam, incense, meander. Now the correct answer is incense.
Incense as noun.
धूप, सुगंधित पदार्थ जो जलाने पर खुशबू दे.
A substance that produces a fragrant aroma when burned, used in religious or spiritual ceremonies. Something that strongly irritates or angers someone.
Synonym of.
Incense.
perfume, fragrance, scent, more.
Antonym of.
Incense.
Please, calm, appease, placate, wreak.
Here is the word family of incense, as a noun incense, as a verb incense, as an adjective incensed.
She lit the incense to create a relaxing atmosphere in the room. The priest burned incense during the religious ceremony. The room was filled with the sweet smell of incense. He bought a variety of incense to try different fragrances. The incense smoke wafted through the air and left a lingering scent.
Common collocation of.
Incense.
Incense sticks. Definition: fragrant sticks that are burned to release a pleasant aroma. Examples: the room was filled with the scent of incense sticks. Incense offering. Definition: the act of offering incense as a form of worship or reverence. Examples: the devotees made an incense offering at the temple. Incense fragrance. Definition: the delightful scent or perfume emitted by burning incense. Examples: the incense fragrance created a peaceful and serene atmosphere in the meditation room. Incense ritual. Definition: a specific sequence of actions or procedures followed when burning incense. Examples: the incense ritual was performed with great solemnity and precision. Incense stick holder. Definition: an object used to hold and support incense sticks while they burn. Examples: she placed the incense stick in the ornate incense stick holder.
Next question. A written or spoken attack, especially on a religious or political doctrine or belief. An aggressive argument or criticism aimed at refuting or disproving a particular point of view or belief.
विवादात्मक लेख, किसी मुद्दे पर तीखी बहस.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Variance, tirade, polemic, savvy. Now the correct answer is polemic.
Polemic as noun.
विवादात्मक लेख, किसी मुद्दे पर तीखी बहस.
A written or spoken attack, especially on a religious or political doctrine or belief. An aggressive argument or criticism aimed at refuting or disproving a particular point of view or belief.
Synonym of.
Polemic.
Polemical, polemics, debate, dispute, controversial.
Antonym of.
Polemic.
Uncontroversial, non-controversial, unanimous.
Here is the word family of polemic, as a noun polemic, as an adjective polemical, as an adverb polemically.
The author's latest book sparked a polemic debate on the controversial topic. The talk show host's polemic monologue attacked the opposing political party. The politician's polemic speech riled up his supporters and opponents alike. The newspaper article was written in a polemic style that criticized the government's policies. The online forum became a platform for polemic arguments between members with different viewpoints.
Collocation of.
Polemic.
Political polemic. Definition: a strongly worded argument or critique of political ideologies or policies. Examples: the politician's speech was a polemic against the government's handling of the economic crisis. Literary polemic. Definition: a written work or essay that presents a passionate and argumentative perspective on a particular topic. Examples. The author's book was a polemic challenging traditional gender roles and societal expectations. Cultural polemic. Definition: a discourse or debate that focuses on cultural norms, practices, or values. Examples. The art exhibition sparked a polemic on the representation of race and identity in contemporary art. Religious polemic. Definition: a forceful argument or criticism related to religious beliefs, practices, or doctrines. Examples. The religious leader's sermon was a polemic against modern secularism and moral relativism. Intellectual polemic. Definition: a spirited and contentious intellectual debate or argument on a specific subject. Examples. The academic conference featured a lively polemic on the role of technology in shaping society.
Next question. A person who promotes or advertises something in an aggressive or persistent manner. A person who solicits business or customers, especially in a brazen or annoying way.
दलाल, बेचने या प्रमोट करने वाला व्यक्ति.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Invective. Appurtenant. Tool. Audacity. Now, the correct answer is tool.
Tout as noun.
दलाल, बेचने या प्रमोट करने वाला व्यक्ति.
A person who promotes or advertises something in an aggressive or persistent manner. A person who solicits business or customers, especially in a brazen or annoying way.
Synonym of
Tool.
Promote, touter, boast, boost, tipster.
Antonym of
Tool.
Admonish, conceal, belittle, hide, chide.
Here is the word family of tout, as a noun touting, as a verb tout.
He worked as a tout for a travel agency. The touts outside the stadium were selling counterfeit merchandise. The tout tried to convince us to buy a timeshare. The street vendor was a tout who wouldn't leave us alone. The club was filled with touts trying to sell tickets.
collocation of
Tool.
Tout somebody's achievements. Definition: to promote or praise someone's accomplishments or successes. Examples: the coach proudly touts the achievements of his star athlete to attract the attention of college scouts. Tout a product. Definition: to promote or advertise a product, emphasizing its features, benefits, or superiority. Examples: the company launched a marketing campaign to tout their new smartphone, highlighting its advanced features and sleek design. Tout for business. Definition: to actively seek or promote business opportunities or clients. Examples: the entrepreneur attended networking events to tout for business and expand her professional network. Tout a candidate. Definition: to promote or endorse a candidate in an election or for a particular position. Examples: the political party's supporters tirelessly tout their candidates' qualifications and policy proposals. Tout for support. Definition: to actively seek or promote support from individuals, groups, or organizations. Examples: the nonprofit organization touts for support from the community to fund their charitable initiatives.
Next question. A public celebration or festival often outdoors, with food, drinks, music, dancing, and other festivities. A religious or cultural event, celebration, or ceremony, usually with special prayers, offerings, and rituals.
उत्सव, समारोह या मेले जैसा आयोजन.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Pillory, pastoral, paragon, fate. Now the correct answer is fate.
Fete as noun.
उत्सव, समारोह या मेले जैसा आयोजन.
A public celebration or festival, often outdoors, with food, drinks, music, dancing, and other festivities. A religious or cultural event, celebration, or ceremony, usually with special prayers, offerings, and rituals.
Synonym of.
Fate.
Gala, carnival, celebrate, celebration, feast.
Antonym of.
Fate.
Abase, chasten, debase, degrade, famine.
Here is the word family of fete, as a noun fete, as a verb fete.
The school's end-of-year fete was a great success, with plenty of food, drinks, and entertainment. The town's annual summer fete is always a big event, with games, rides, and live music. The fundraising committee organized a lavish fete to raise money for the local hospital. The royal family attended a grand fete at the palace to celebrate the monarch's birthday. The garden fete included a plant sale, a raffle, and a cake competition.
Common collocation of.
Fate.
Fete, a celebrity. Definition: to honor or celebrate a famous person with a special event or ceremony. Fete, a guest. Definition: to host or entertain a guest with a lavish party or celebration. Examples: they decided to fete their distinguished guests with a formal dinner and live music. Fete and anniversary. Definition: to commemorate or celebrate an important anniversary with festivities and special events. Examples: the company planned to fete its 50th anniversary with a series of events throughout the year. Fete, a champion. Definition: to honor or celebrate a champion or winner of a competition or sporting event. Examples: the town organized a parade to fete the local team's championship victory. Fete, a milestone. Definition: to mark or celebrate a significant milestone or achievement. Examples: the school organized a special assembly to fete the students' graduation and academic accomplishments.
Next question. The reconciliation or coming together of parties, groups, or nations that have been at odds or in conflict. The reestablishment of a harmonious or friendly relationship, often after a period of tension or estrangement.
मेल मिलाप, दुश्मनी के बाद फिर से संबंध बनाना.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Rapprochement, umbrage, jargon, contrition. Now the correct answer is rapprochement.
Rapprochement as noun.
मेल मिलाप, दुश्मनी के बाद फिर से संबंध बनाना.
The reconciliation or coming together of parties, groups, or nations that have been at odds or in conflict. The reestablishment of a harmonious or friendly relationship, often after a period of tension or estrangement.
Synonym of.
Rapprochement.
Reconciliation, understanding, harmony, agreement, rapport.
Antonym of
rapprochement,
Discord, disagreement, estrangement, conflict, hostility.
Here is the word family of rapprochement. As a noun, rapprochement.
diplomatic efforts led to a successful rapprochement between the two nations. There was a visible rapprochement after the long-standing feud between the families. The peace talks signaled a significant rapprochement between the conflicting parties. The rapprochement between the two communities brought hope for lasting peace. The leaders' meeting aimed at achieving a lasting rapprochement between the nations.
collocation of
Rapprochement,
International rapprochement. Definition: improvement or reconciliation between nations. Examples: the international rapprochement led to peaceful negotiations between the two countries. Diplomatic rapprochement. Definition: re-establishment of friendly relations between diplomats. Examples: the diplomatic rapprochement eased tensions between the embassies. Political rapprochement. Definition: reconciliation or coming together within a political context. Examples: the political rapprochement between parties enabled collaboration on critical policies. Economic rapprochement. Definition: improvement or cooperation in economic relations. Examples: the economic rapprochement resulted in beneficial trade agreements. Cultural rapprochement. Definition: increased understanding and acceptance between cultures. Examples: the cultural rapprochement fostered a sense of unity among diverse communities.
Next question. A military attack or raid carried out in retaliation for a similar act by an enemy. An act of retaliation or vengeance taken in response to an injury or wrong.
प्रतिशोध, बदले की कार्रवाई.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Largesse, sycophant, reprisal, concomitant. Now the correct answer is reprisal.
Reprisal as noun.
प्रतिशोध, बदले की कार्रवाई.
A military attack or raid carried out in retaliation for a similar act by an enemy. An act of retaliation or vengeance taken in response to an injury or wrong.
synonym of
Reprisal,
Retaliation, retribution, vengeance, requital, revenge.
antonym of
reprisal,
Acceptance, approval, clemency, kindness, leniency.
Here is the word family of reprisal. As a noun, reprisal.
The employee feared reprisals from their boss after reporting a workplace safety violation. The victim's family demanded reprisals against the perpetrator of the crime. The country threatened to take reprisals against its neighbor for its military aggression. The company faced reprisals from its customers after a data breach compromised their personal information. The government warned against reprisals in response to protests against police brutality.
collocation of
Reprisal,
Military reprisal. Definition: a retaliatory action taken by a military force in response to an attack. Examples: the country launched a reprisal against the enemy's military installations. Economic reprisal. Definition: retaliatory measures taken in the economic realm, such as imposing trade tariffs. Examples: the government threatened to impose economic reprisals if unfair trade practices continued. Political reprisal. Definition: a retaliatory action taken by one political group against another. Examples: the opposition party accused the ruling party of political reprisals against their members. Legal reprisal. Definition: taking legal action in response to perceived wrongdoing or harm. Examples: the victim sought legal reprisal against the perpetrator for the damages caused. Personal reprisal. Definition: an act of retaliation or revenge by an individual against another. Examples: he took personal reprisal against his neighbor for damaging his property.
Next question. It can be used to describe behavior or actions that are motivated by a desire to help others, rather than to benefit oneself. It implies a sense of selflessness and generosity.
परोपकार, दूसरों की भलाई के लिए निस्वार्थ भावना.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Altruism, vitriol, dissolution, fate. Now, the correct answer is altruism.
Altruism as noun.
परोपकार, दूसरों की भलाई के लिए निस्वार्थ भावना.
It can be used to describe behavior or actions that are motivated by a desire to help others, rather than to benefit oneself. It implies a sense of selflessness and generosity.
Synonyms of
Altruism,
Benevolence, philanthropy, unselfishness, charity, generosity.
Antonyms of
altruism,
Selfishness, egoism, conceit, egocentrism, egotism.
Here is the word family of altruism. As a noun altruism, as an adjective altruistic, as an adverb altruistically.
The doctor's altruism was evident in her decision to treat patients in a remote, underserved area. The teacher's altruism was evident in her dedication to helping her students succeed. The firefighter's altruism was evident in his willingness to put himself in danger to save others. The philanthropist's altruism was evident in her generous donations to charitable causes. The volunteer's altruism was evident in her willingness to help anyone who needed it.
Here are some useful collocations of
Altruism,
Genuine altruism. Definition: sincere and authentic concern for the welfare of others without expecting anything in return. Examples: his genuine altruism was evident when he anonymously donated a large sum to the charity. Unselfish altruism. Definition: selfless and generous behavior directed towards the well-being of others, putting their needs before one's own. Examples: her unselfish altruism was evident when she gave up her seat on the crowded bus for an elderly person. Radical altruism. Definition: extreme or revolutionary acts of selflessness and compassion towards others. Examples: the group's radical altruism led them to risk their safety to rescue animals from an endangered habitat. Reciprocal altruism. Definition: an altruistic behavior pattern where individuals help others with the expectation of receiving help in return. Examples: in some animal species, reciprocal altruism promotes cooperation and mutual benefits within the group. Empathetic altruism. Definition: altruistic actions that stem from the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Examples: Empathetic altruism led her to volunteer at the shelter, providing emotional support to traumatized animals.
You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.